what I'm suggesting is that we don't have the heaviness of saying that something is wrong. I made a wrong decision. I made a bad decision. Yeah. Okay. There's times where we could say that. Okay. I don't like the gossipy kind of stuff, but this is what's coming through to share with you. And it's so relevant and time sensitive. So if you haven't seen it, I don't even watch the news. So for me to see this and know it, it's like it's widespread. The couple that was having the affair at the Coldplay concert, they could really be looking at this going, wow, I made a really bad decision. And many of us could say, yeah, I'm thinking that too. Like the fact that those two were at a concert together, both, well, I guess she was divorced, doesn't matter, but he's married. There was an affair happening, and that could be looked on as bad. And in many ways, we could say that it is. However, and I feel deeply for the family and I feel deeply for all of the people involved. But my point is that they can make more decisions. They can make a decision. How am I going to handle that after that happened? How am I going to handle my spouse? How am I going to handle my children? How am I going to handle the publicity? What am I going to learn from it? So I bring it up because it's about the next decision. They can and they might be spending days, weeks, months regretting. And I get that. I'm not saying that we don't go into that feeling, but let's get to the place of the now. What's happening right now? What can I do right now? Let's repair. Let's speak our truth. Let's use this opportunity to talk about why did we get into the affair? Like what happened there? Like what happened in our own personal lives, in our own mind, in our own heart that led us to make that decision. Let's not call it wrong. Let's just call it what it is and then make another choice to move forward in a different way. Because it's really an opportunity for the truth to come out. There's obviously something deep within them individually and within the marriage and within the relationship that they have to themselves and others that is saying, we need to look at this. And it's the fact that happened brings so much for everybody else. And I don't mean that in a gossipy way. I mean it in a way that it brings us an opportunity to reflect on our own lives. I think most women would go, "Oh my God, if that were my husband and I had children, I would be so devastated." And so feeling into those feels of how you would feel is one thing I think to activate some feelings within you. But it's even like if we take it to another level, and we take it to a sense of truth and we say, okay, if that were to happen to me, what would my truth be? What would I want to find out for myself? How would I handle that? How would I communicate with my husband? How would I feel if I knew my husband was cheating on me and I found out in such an incredibly ooh, like public way? And what would the lessons be that I would learn? Now, I'm not trying to put all of us through this torture. I'm just saying that it's again back to not about right or wrong, but about the decisions that we make. When life gives us shit, what do we do with it? Do we make mud pies or do we sit in it? And if we're sitting in it, how long are we going to sit in it? And are we going to let ourselves sink? So bad things happen. I'm not saying that they're not bad or that they don't feel bad. I'm saying that it's about what you do in your mind that allows you to either transcend from it and get the lesson, not spiritually disassociate and say, oh, it was just meant to be. No, I'm not saying that either. I'm saying that you really anchor into why would I be calling this in for my growth? So we can still utilize a lesson that was tough for these two people and their families as something that we can integrate within ourselves, not just for gossip's sake, not just to talk about, oh my God, but to talk about like, yeah, what's going on in my marriage? How could I not avoid that, but like what's happening that I'm doing or not doing that could create a situation where my spouse would want to go out and get something from someone else and not honor that sacred connection. So I think there's some juicy, juicy nuggets there.